Dear Teroxx community, welcome to this weekly crypto news and market update video. And this week we need to talk about Bitcoins and world markets downtrend. Bitcoin hanging around 21k, not anymore at the resistance near 25k. What happened, what is coming, and so on and so forth. 5 things to know in Bitcoin this week. We've seen a minor capitulation. What's next? All eyes on Jackson's Hole. We will have the FOMC meeting this week. Last week we had very negative news coming from the US. CPI was not good, as well as that the Fed will increase the interest rates higher and higher, and it's not helping against inflations, stuff like this. How you can see this strong upwards movement not being healthy, and there is no real effect. So people are already saying world markets will be very ugly for the next months, especially in winter times. Russia will close the gas pipeline to Europe again for a few days. So what will happen in winter times, nobody really knows. So people already seeing Bitcoin will be below 20k very soon. And as well, what's interesting, we've seen no real bullish uptrend. We just saw downtrends, sideways, support building, small uptrends, downtrends. So really no bullish signal, no counter movement, and so on and so forth. Next 12 to 90 weeks are going to be ugly. It's part of a tweet. We do not need to take this very serious, but people are very negative again. So this negativity in the market seems to underline that the bear market rally seems to be over, because we do not need to forget that we are in a bear market and we are not bullish, and we are out of capitalization phase. This capitalization zone was longer and just 2 days shorter than 2018, where the price touched 3.1k. So all in all, as well, the network is not very in a clear state at the moment. We've seen a lot of things going on, a lot of trouble, so to speak, and this of course is not helping Bitcoin and for all the markets. So sentiment drops 40% in a week. So as well here, a little bit of panic in the market. So let's see if we can get rid of this panic this week, or if we heading more down. But for sure, a very negative week for the whole world markets. And if we're talking about negative for world markets, we need to point out that there are good players. And FTX revenues grew 1,000%. Growing from 90 million in 2020 to 1.2 billion in 2021, it's an increase of more than 1,800%. And the crypto exchange amassed 388 million in net income. This is more than 2,182% increase from last year's 70 million. So if you're working together with the right people and right companies in this space, like Teroxx is one of them, you are safe and you can do a lot of good things in the market. Do not trust anyone who is speaking about fixed revenues, fixed percentage and stuff like this. We've seen this and they all went down, like 3 Hours Capital, like Voyager, like Celsius, like Nuri, and so on and so forth. And even if this is a German article, I want to talk about this. The German crypto bank Nuri went bankruptcy, and now there are people who wants to build up from scratch. So there are talks with people who want to build up Nuri. So they want to learn from this crisis and they want to rebuild the company. And this is showing that even in this bear market, the demand and the possibilities are so huge in this market that even if we have negative price movements, the fundamental is very strong in this market. And what's as well interesting is, we've seen it in the first article, the balances hitting low on the exchanges, and live what we've seen is that we have a new 5-year Bitcoin hodl record, and this is something we really need to talk about. The amount of Bitcoin that haven't been moved for at least 5 years is touching nearly 25k, 25%. This means that there is a supply shock incoming, and if then institution wants to buy big orders of Bitcoin but there are none available, prices will mostly jump. So very interesting to see that even if the prices are down, people holding Bitcoin long term, and this is going to have an impact on the prices very, very soon. If we take a look on the 7-day performance, we can see everything is 2 digits down. Some are even more down than 20%, so quite a red week for the whole market. And if we take a look on the total market capitalization as well, we've seen this sideways movements, negative movement, sideways movement, negative movement, sideways movement. So no bullish trend, and this is causing the panic, hanging around 1 trillion at the moment. If you're taking a look on Bitcoin, how I said, what should be analyzed? It's not that much. We had this resistance built at around 25k, and we've seen these downtrends over and over again. Okay, so this always, when we touched 25k, we got rejected. Nothing special about it. We've built a support line down here, which we touched multiple times. So we had this channel, and people were quite optimistic to break through. But then the negative things from the US markets especially hit, and then we broke through this support with the new consolidation phase over here, lasted around 1.5 days from this point to this point, and then we lost this, and this negative trend then caused a flashing crash in the market. And this is what we've always seen in the last month, that we're going down at least 10%, super fast, super easy, without any counter movement. And this is what is not very healthy for this market, and this is what is causing panic, of course. And now we build support here at 20,700. Let's see how this will affect the market and how this will behave in the near future. But what is quite interesting, we haven't seen any pullbacks. If you're dropping to these levels in bullish market segments, you would easily jump 6-7%. But in this case, we haven't seen any real counter movements. So this is what is causing the panic. People cannot see the upside at this moment, and so people are afraid of going down even further, because we are hanging around these levels for now more than 3 days. So 3 days, nothing really happened after such a crash. So this could be a super strong support building, or it's going down when world markets are opening quite bad or will behave very bad the next days. How I said, the FOMC meeting is coming this week. Maybe we will see volatility afterwards. Maybe if there are some news upfront, even upfront, but we need a positive movement. If we are seeing this, we can easily jump 5 to 10% in Bitcoin, no problem. But if we're dropping below 20,800 or 700, we need to talk about the support zone at 20k. If this is not holding, it could be very, very bearish for the market. But for the moment, how I said, let's see what will happen. But last week, there was not one single bullish day. I hope you liked this video. If you do so, I would love if you comment, like, or share this video, and we'll see you next time when it comes to weekly crypto news and market update provided by Teroxx.